What if your anxiety isn't a disorder, but a message? We've been taught to treat anxiety like an intruder, something foreign, something wrong, something that must be silenced with a pill, a distraction, or a fake smile. But what if the very thing you're trying to escape is actually trying to save you? Have you ever felt like your mind is trying to tell you something, but you've been too scared to listen? That tightness in your chest, that racing heart, that voice in the back of your mind whispering something is off, even when everything looks fine on the surface. Maybe you've labeled it anxiety. Maybe a doctor did. Maybe you've Googled it at 2 a.m, trying to figure out why you can't breathe in a room full of people, or why you feel like you're falling apart, even though nothing is wrong. But what if everything is wrong and anxiety is the only part of you that is brave enough to speak up? Carl Jung, the father of analytical psychology, once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." What we call anxiety may just be the shadow your repressed, unseen self screaming to be acknowledged. Not a malfunction, a message, not a flaw, a flare. What if anxiety is your soul banging on the walls you built around it? We live in a culture that glorifies control, constant positivity, and performance. You're told to keep going, to smile more, to meditate the pain away. But silence does not heal a voice that was never heard. Your anxiety is not noise. It's a signal. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop fighting it and start listening. Because what's terrifying you might just be you. Before we dive deeper, take a moment. If this message is already resonating with something inside you, give like this video. Give subscribe to the channel. Give and hit that notification bell, so you'll be the first to know when the next piece of truth drops. Because what's coming next might be exactly what your soul's been waiting to hear. Let me tell you about Alex. If you met him at a dinner party, you'd probably think, wow, this guy's got it together. He's articulate, he's fit, he dresses sharp without trying too hard. Works in tech, manages a small team, drives an electric car, and talks about mindfulness with the kind of authority that makes you believe he actually understands it. He quotes Marcus Aurelius and Carl Jung interchangeably. He starts his mornings with lemon water and breath work. He tracks his sleep, his macros, and his screen time. He meditates, he journals, he lifts, he hikes, he attends workshops on emotional intelligence. He's done ayahuasca twice. But still, he can't sleep at night. His mind, like a restless animal, starts pacing as soon as the lights go out. It's not loud or dramatic, it's subtle. Like a low hum under the surface of things, a strange feeling in his gut, a weight on his chest, a thought that loops itself into knots. Something's not right. Something's missing. Something is off, and I don't know what it is. But of course, Alex does what he always does. He tries to fix it, biohack it, understand it, schedule it. He tries new supplements, listens to more podcasts, and adds another therapist to his mental health stack. He tells himself he's fine. He tells everyone else he's thriving. He's not lying. He just doesn't know the truth yet. Because the truth is this: Alex's anxiety isn't coming from his job, his relationship, or the demands of modern life. It's coming from a part of him that he's never allowed to speak. A part that's been silenced, repressed, edited out of the script he performs every day. Carl Jung called it the shadow, the side of us that holds everything we've denied, hidden, or disowned. Our anger, our grief, our fear, our desire, our pain. It's the version of us that never got to grow up, because somewhere along the way, we decided that being loved was more important than being whole. Alex learned this early. He was the good kid, the polite one, the achiever. He learned that feelings were inconvenient, that sadness made people uncomfortable, and that anger was dangerous. So he shut those parts down. He became competent, responsible, predictable, and the world rewarded him for it. But here is what no one tells you. Every time you hide a piece of yourself to be accepted, that piece doesn't disappear. It waits. It waits in silence, in dreams, in your nervous system. And eventually, it speaks. And when it's been ignored long enough, it doesn't whisper, it screams. Alex's anxiety is that scream. It's not a malfunction. It's a message. It's not the problem, it's the symptom. His anxiety isn't asking for a solution. It's asking to be seen. But how do you look at something you've spent your whole life avoiding? That's the dilemma Alex faces. Because beneath his calm demeanor and curated life is a storm he doesn't know how to weather. Not because he's weak, but because no one ever taught him how to feel, only how to function. He's emotionally fluid, but emotionally disconnected. He can explain trauma, but can't touch his own. He can talk about inner work, but never really drops into the work itself. He's built a fortress of knowledge around a wound he refuses to feel. And that's why he's suffering. Because intellect can't heal what the heart is still hiding. Because discipline won't save you if it's built on self-abandonment. Because your mind can't outrun your soul forever. So what does Alex need? He needs to stop fixing and start feeling. He needs to stop performing and start listening. He needs to turn toward the darkness, not away from it. To let the tears come. To let the rage rise. To say out loud, I'm not okay. I don't have it all figured out. I'm scared. I'm tired. I miss who I used to be before I became who I thought I had to be. He doesn't need a better routine. He needs a reunion with himself. The anxiety won't disappear overnight, but it will soften the moment it's met with compassion instead of resistance. Because anxiety is not trying to destroy you. It's trying to lead you back to what's real. And what's real is this. There's a voice inside Alex that has never stopped speaking. It's just been speaking a language he never learned to understand. Until now. To understand anxiety on a deeper level, we need to step away from the surface-level definitions. It's not just a chemical imbalance. It's not just about stress or burnout or a lack of serotonin. Those explanations, while useful in certain contexts, are often incomplete. They reduce something profoundly human to something merely mechanical. Carl Jung offered a different lens. He introduced the concept of the shadow not as something evil or pathological, but as the unseen, unacknowledged part of the psyche. The shadow is everything you've rejected about yourself, because somewhere along the way, someone taught you that it was wrong. Your fear, your sadness, your rage, your jealousy, your wildness, your vulnerability, your voice. All of it gets stuffed into a psychological basement. And what do we do with basements? We avoid them. We shut the door and pretend they're not there. But just because you refuse to look doesn't mean what's inside goes away. In fact, it grows stronger in the dark. Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." This is not just poetic. It's diagnostic. It means that the parts of you that you repress don't disappear. They take the wheel. They shape your choices, your relationships, your patterns. They manifest in projection, addiction, perfectionism, people-pleasing, and yes, anxiety. So when we say your anxiety is your shadow screaming to be seen, we mean it literally. That knot in your stomach, that restlessness in your chest, that voice telling you something's wrong, it's not random. It's your inner self, the parts you've hidden, trying desperately to make contact. Anxiety, in this framework, is a message. It's the alarm system of the soul. And the more you ignore it, the louder it gets. But in American culture, we're trained to do exactly that. Ignore it. We're raised in a society obsessed with performance, productivity, and positivity. From a young age, we're told to look on the bright side. Be strong and keep going. We reward busyness. We idolize the grind. We treat stillness as laziness and sadness as weakness. If you're not producing, you're falling behind. If you're not smiling, you're making others uncomfortable. And so we split. We fracture. We create personas that can function in the system, while silently abandoning the parts of ourselves that can't keep up. The scared part, the grieving part, the sensitive, messy, confused, angry, real part. That part doesn't just vanish, it becomes the shadow. And the shadow doesn't go quietly. It festers, it finds ways to re-emerge. Sometimes it comes through panic attacks, sometimes through chronic fatigue, sometimes through self-sabotage. It shows up in moments of stillness when there's nothing left to distract you. It shows up in your relationships, your work, and your body. And yes, it shows up as anxiety. But the system doesn't want you to listen to it. The system wants you to fix it, to suppress it, to take something, buy something, do something, anything but pause, anything but feel, anything but reflect. We're reliving in an era of toxic positivity where good vibes only has become a spiritual commandment, and uncomfortable emotions are treated like intruders. But Jung knew that the very things we try to run from are often the gateways to transformation. The shadow is not your enemy. It's your invitation. An invitation to become whole, not perfect, but whole. Because wholeness is not about always being calm or cheerful or aligned. Wholeness is about integration. It's about saying, yes, I am all of this. Not just the light, but the dark. Not just the love, but the fear. Not just the achievements, but the shame. And ironically, the moment you start accepting those parts, really seeing them, naming them, honoring them, the anxiety starts to soften. Not because it's gone, but because it no longer needs to scream to be heard. Jung didn't promise a life without suffering. He knew that suffering was part of the journey. But he believed it could become meaningful if we learned to approach it differently. If we stopped asking, how do I get rid of this pain? And started asking, what is this pain trying to show me? Because the shadow is not here to destroy you. It is here to free you from the lie that you have to be someone you're not in order to be loved. So the next time anxiety rises, try this. Don't fight it. Don't silence it. Don't label it as a problem. Ask it, what part of me have I abandoned? What part of me is desperate to be seen? And then listen. Because your healing won't come from becoming someone new. It will come from remembering who you were before you forgot. So where do we go from here? If anxiety is not just a symptom, but a signal, if it is your shadow begging to be seen, then the first step is not to run away from it, but to turn toward it, to stop the frantic fixing and start the quiet listening. This, of course, is easier said than done, because facing what's inside you is terrifying. It's far more comfortable to stay distracted, to blame external circumstances, to convince yourself you're just too busy, too tired, or too broken to go deeper. But healing begins when you choose courage over comfort. Not the dramatic kind of courage that makes headlines, but the quiet kind. The kind that sits down with the discomfort. The kind that stops mid-spiral and asks, what am I really feeling? The kind that doesn't flinch when the answer is messy, or raw, or inconvenient. This is the beginning of self-confrontation. And it's sacred. Carl Jung called this journey individuation, the process of integrating all the parts of yourself, conscious and unconscious, into a unified whole. It's not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming real. It's about breaking the spell of who you think you're supposed to be, so you can finally meet who you actually are. Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But most people never claim that privilege. Not because they're incapable, but because the cost feels too high. To become who you truly are means letting go of who you've pretended to be. It means shedding the armor you built to survive. It means grieving the masks that once protected you but now suffocate you. That grief is necessary, because beneath the anxiety is not a monster, but a truth. And truth, when denied, becomes chaos, but when acknowledged, when embraced, it becomes clarity. So how do you start? One of the simplest yet most profound practices is journaling, but not the to-do list kind. Not the gratitude dash while dash ignoring dash your dash grief kind. I'm talking about radical, unfiltered, shadow-facing journaling. A daily space where you don't censor yourself. Where you write the things you're afraid to admit. The things you've been holding back for years. The anger, the shame, the sadness, the longing, the confusion. Not to analyze or fix them, but to finally give them a voice. This is not about productivity. This is about presence. You are not writing to be better. You're writing to be honest, because your shadow doesn't need advice. It needs attention. It doesn't want you to control it. It wants to be witnessed. And journaling can be a sacred act of witnessing. Set a timer. 10 minutes. Open a page and write as if no one will ever read it. Because they won't. This isn't content. This isn't performance. This is you meeting yourself. And over time, something begins to shift. You'll start to recognize patterns, not in a detached, analytical way, but in an embodied, emotional way. You'll start to notice how often you abandon yourself. How often do you betray your own needs just to maintain peace? You'll see how much of your anxiety is rooted not in the present, but in the accumulated pressure of 1,000 unspoken truths. And that's when you realize healing doesn't mean getting rid of anxiety. It means understanding what it's trying to say. From there, the journey deepens. Individuation isn't a weekend retreat. It's not a 3-step hack. It's a lifelong commitment to integration. To honor all parts of you, not just the pretty ones. It's choosing to sit with your sadness instead of shaming it. To hear your anger without silencing it. To recognize your fear not as failure, but as feedback. This is not self-help. This is self-reclamation. You reclaim your inner authority, the ability to define your own truth instead of outsourcing it to culture, religion, or algorithms. You stop asking who you should be and start asking who you've always been beneath the noise. This work is not glamorous. You won't get applause for it. Some days you'll feel like you're falling apart. But in that falling, you find your foundation, not the one society built for you, but the one buried under years of silence. And as that foundation reveals itself, something miraculous happens. The anxiety softens. Not because it disappears, but because it no longer needs to shout. It's been heard. It's been seen. It's been held. And so have you. So start where you are. Not with perfection, but with presence. Not with answers, but with questions. Let the shadow speak. Let the anxiety guide you not away from yourself, but back home. Because who you truly are has never been broken. Just buried. Take a deep breath. Not the kind you take to brace yourself before pretending everything is fine, but a real breath. The kind that reaches the parts of you you've ignored. The kind that makes space for something deeper to rise. Something older, truer. Your anxiety isn't the enemy. It's the evidence. Evidence that there's a voice inside you that's been screaming for years. Not to punish you, not to torment you, but to bring you home. You are not broken. You are unheard. Let that sink in. This world has convinced you that emotional discomfort means something is wrong. That you need to be fixed. That you need a 5-step plan or a better routine or a stronger mindset. But the truth is much simpler and much more radical. You don't need to be fixed. You need to be felt. Anxiety is not chaos. It is clarity that hasn't yet found language. It's the shadow banging on the doors of your consciousness, begging to be seen. And until you stop running, it will chase you. Not out of malice, but out of love. Fierce, relentless love. Carl Jung wrote, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." And that's what your anxiety is really asking of you. Not to change, not to conform, not to overcome anything, but to accept, to welcome all of you, the messy parts, the aching parts, the parts you thought you had to hide in order to be loved. Your healing begins the moment you stop treating your anxiety like a threat and start relating to it like a messenger. It's not here to ruin your life, it's here to return you to it. So, What if starting today, instead of fighting your anxiety, you listen to it? Not just metaphorically, literally. What is it saying? What is it asking for? What part of you has gone unheard for so long that it had to manifest as tension, panic, dread, disconnection? If you sat with your anxiety tonight, not to suppress it, but to ask it what it knows, what would it tell you? Would it tell you that you've been living a life that no longer fits you? That your relationships are draining because you've built them on performance, not presence? That you're exhausted not from doing too much but from not being honest? That the silence you avoid is exactly where your real voice lives? If so, good. That's where the real work begins. The sacred work. And I want to be clear, this work isn't glamorous. It won't look good on Instagram. It won't earn applause. In fact, most people around you won't even notice you're doing it. But you'll notice. You'll notice when you breathe, and it actually feels like breathing. You'll notice when you speak, and it actually feels like your voice. You'll notice when you feel anxiety rising, and instead of fearing it, you welcome it, because you know it's pointing you back to something real. That's the shift. You move from managing symptoms to listening for signals. From resisting emotion to respecting it. From being at war with yourself to coming home. Because that's what this entire journey is really about, coming home. Coming home to the parts of you that were never broken, just buried. Coming home to the truth that your anxiety has never been against you. It's been the only part of you honest enough to say, this I ascend who you are. If anything in this message has touched you, not just intellectually, but emotionally, then maybe it's time. Time to stop escaping. Time to stop analyzing. Time to stop performing. Maybe it's time to begin the work. Not the work of becoming better. The work of becoming real. And if that voice inside you, the one that whispered, "This is me," while you watched feels familiar, then this space was created for you. So before you go, take one small action. Like this video not as a meaningless gesture, but as a promise to yourself, I'm ready to listen. Subscribe not for content, but for connection. So when the next message comes, raw, honest, unfiltered, you'll be there to receive it. Hit the bell, because if something in this video finds you at the right moment, then you deserve to be the first to know when the next truth arrives. Because you've ignored your inner voice long enough. Now it's time to let it speak. And this time, you'll be listening.